Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. Today we watched the Simpsons short. It's the newest one on Disney Plus. It's called Rogue, Not Quite One. And we're just going to talk about it because it's a quick 5-minute episode to watch. Instead of giving a synopsis, we're just going to talk about what we liked about it.
Right. We'll just kind of go right into it because, in a lot of ways it's, Disney Plus trying to sell Star Wars and their Star Wars shows and mashing it up with The Simpsons. But it works. It's fun.
It's really fun.
You take Star Wars, you take Simpsons. Why not? They're a lot of fun. So look at that. There was no R2 in this episode, but when I think of Star Wars, I think of R2. So there he is. But I am wearing my Mando t-shirt, and it was just by coincidence. I just happened to throw it on this morning.
That was a big part of this episode, was Mandalorian crossover episode with The Simpsons, and it was really great. And if you've watched our episodes prior for Coming Up Milhouse on our channel, you know that we usually talk about our favorite lines, and then we talk about our favorite scenes, and then winners and losers. Well, this episode was only 5 minutes long. You definitely have to watch the end credits because just the little clips, animated clips in the end credits were some of my favorite parts of this episode. But this fantastic episode. There's only one line in this episode. It's mostly just a silent visual. And I wrote down that one line. Would you like to share it, or you want to?
So it's one line from Wiggum, and it's, "I gotta save that adorable donut." Because, of course, Maggie is in the Baby Yoda basket flying around and throws a donut at Wiggum. And we think he's going to say he's going to save that adorable baby, but no, the donut, he pulls away and goes get the donut.
So Maggie's speeding through downtown Springfield and then ends up in outer space. And definitely some really great moments. And do you have a favorite or a couple favorite things that you want to talk about?
First of all, I think it's funny how it starts off and it's clearly in Star Wars land. It's like on Tatooine, right? So there's all this, cantina, and there's all this stuff. So you just kind of accept that this is the Simpsons and Star Wars land. And then after she gets in the basket, starts flying, she's clearly in Springfield, flying through Springfield, doing everything, and then ends up in space. Back kind of to Star Wars world. Yeah. So I just kind of like how they seamlessly mash those things up. So we start out in Tatooine, end up in Springfield, go up into space, and then have a final battle in the clouds, whatever.
To the point where the seamless crossover was that Moe's Cantina existed. As well. So instead of the tavern, it's Moe's Cantina, which that was the first thing I wrote down, to be honest with you, because I just thought it was great. And in the Baby Yoda bassinet ship, whatever you want to call it, there's a diaper change moment. So it's, completely automated to change Maggie's diaper, and it incinerates the old diaper.
That blaster shoots the old one, and it just evaporates, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
And then that comes back in the end credits, and I won't ruin that for you, but just keep your eyes open because I thought it was pretty hilarious.
That part, that was probably my favorite still in the end credits, was that call back to that.
Yep. So, so she's just having kind of an adventure through, and there's a bit of a space battle between her and a nefarious villain that she matches up with at times.
It's Baby Gerald done up to be Darth Maul.
That's great.
So I love Darth Maul. He's one of my favorite of the prequel characters. Big reason why I was annoyed with episode 1, but I won't get into that. But I still think the character was really cool. And to have it represented in Baby Gerald has always been Maggie's nemesis throughout The Simpsons, so that worked out really good. But there's one thing that this kind of it whetted my appetite a little bit for the idea of an animated Star Wars, but not like CGI we've seen,
Right, you want more animation and less of the Bad Batch animation.
Right. I like that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to see a traditional looking animated Star Wars property. And I know there's some things out there like Visions. There's that thing they've done that's like anime.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten into any of that. That's not kind of my cup of tea. But I'm thinking more of like a callback to the old school animation style, which because Star Wars is a callback to the old school Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon type stuff, it almost needs that kind of thing. And to see all those TIE fighters flying around in formation, doing their thing, it was fun in this like little vignette Simpsons mashup for comedy. That was great. But that kind of got me thinking, man, I'd really like to see more of that. Yeah. So come on, Lucasfilm, that's one thing you haven't really gotten into yet.
I do. You mentioned Visions, and I think that we should watch it because it's basically there are different animation styles throughout, and I know the Wallace and Gromit animators did one.
They did one, okay,
I really want to watch it, but we just haven't taken a moment to do that yet.
Right.
So.
And I've liked like the Lego Christmas specials, I've liked some of the stuff they've done, but I would really like to see more of the traditional animation, and it's kind of whetted my appetite for that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I won't spoil it. Just watch this. It's 5 minutes long on Disney Plus. It's worth the 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes out of your time and watch it.
Just get on there, click. You'll be
there
done.
are some really great moments, including two of my favorite characters that show up.
Yes.
And then maybe some creature that comes out of Lake Springfield or whatever body of water she's flying over. So it's pretty grand. So give it a watch. Do you want to share winners or losers, or?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll do one winner, one loser.
Okay.
So give me one or the other.
I'm gonna go with a loser, and I'm going with the daycare babies that we don't actually see, except for Mandalorian takes Grogu in to the daycare, which is how the shenanigans start with Maggie in the first place, because Homer's Homer. But I feel bad for those other daycare babies because, they're in there and they're not on an adventure like Maggie is. So
yep.
That's it.
Yeah, good one.
That's it.
No.
What about you?
So for loser, I'm going to go with the kids on the swing. So there's some of the Springfield, like elementary kids on the swing.
On the swing.
And Maggie flies through, and they all up like a yo-yo being going up the string. They seem to be like happy and laughing about it, but I would think that wouldn't be fun.
I don't know how comfortable it's going to be long term to be wrapped in a chain on the swing set. Yeah. So that's all. They might have had a blast getting up to that point, but
getting out.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then a winner.
BB-8.
All right.
Just because he just was Johnny on the spot with the prize. I won't spoil it for all of you who haven't seen it yet. We're gonna try to keep this one spoiler free, but BB-8 just kind of saves the day there at the end.
Thanks. I went with Mo.
Yeah.
It was a toss-up, honestly, between Mo and Chief Wiggum.
I actually wrote that down too.
So, you decide who your favorite winners and losers are from this 5-minute episode, and share if you have any favorite moments. We'd love to see them as well. But I went with Mo because he has a cantina, and it's pretty popular. It actually seems more crowded than his normal tavern.
Yeah.
So it was a Barney-free episode. I don't know, I probably would have put Barney in there.
I would have made Barney like a big monstrous version of himself instead of that green thing that sucked Homer down, and had Barney do that. Just in the Star Wars world, Barney is a big blob kind of dude. That would have been kind of cool, but whatever. And the Barney probably would have put Moe's Cantina out of business.
That's true. It's probably why Mo was actually successful in this.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have a Barney taking all his
Barney drinking from the tap completely. So anyway,
Yeah.
Again, this was Rogue Not Quite One. It's only available on Disney Plus, and it's a very short episode. Give it a watch. Give us a like. So make sure you subscribe. Check out some of our other episode reviews on this channel. And until next time,
Jiminy Jokers!